Welcome, everybody. Tonight we are going to go through the Zombie Tarot, which is obviously a 78 card deck. Now this deck I've had since 2012. Can you believe it? It was printed in 2012 and I just can't believe that I've had it this long. It's not a deck that I utilize a lot. It comes with great popularity. A lot of people, you find a lot of readers will use it around Halloween time, you know, because it's got that zombie, scary feel about it. It's a fun deck. It's done by Quirk Books. It comes in a good storage box, but look at this. Look, when you open up the box, it's like you have a box of ammunition. So it's very clever, very, very clever. It's got a velvet insert there. The booklet itself, I did have the Housewife's Tarot. The booklet itself, it can be quite delicate, so be careful with the booklet here, you know, like just be very gentle with it. Don't pull it and yank it like I normally do with my books. I did have the Housewife Tarot and the booklet actually disintegrated pretty much. It broke away. This is a lot better than the Housewife ones. The Housewife ones, it's done in like a little baking segment. This is all in one, so it is much better. I'm going to have all of these in order, so you're going to see all of these cards in order. I hope that you enjoy this mystical tool that we can utilize. But let's look through the booklet. Okay, so I really like this deck because of the size. You know, I'm all for one that's quite a narrow deck. This is quite a narrow deck, so shuffling is a breeze. Okay, the card quality is good, strong, bendy, you know, like durable. And you can see by the sides, I've utilized this deck, but it's not breaking away. It's not as if the cards are peeling. So you've got a really good quality deck here. That's the reverse of the card, the zombie. So we'll see if this head pops up during. So it's a good fun deck. So let's go back to the booklet. The booklet, as I said, you've got to be a bit careful with it. You know, like just be gentle with it. Don't be pulling and yanking it apart. So there's the contents there. There's the topic of the actual zombie and why it's this deck. It has here understanding, so the cups, emotions, artistic tendencies, sex and relationships, wands, growth, creativity, career, energy and achievement. I'm loving this little tool here. Swords, intellect, logic, courage and conflict. So if this is a beginner's deck for you, great. Hazards, material wealth, money, prosperity and property. Breaking down the numbers, love this. A lot of guidebooks don't have this, so this is a real big bonus with this book. So you've got aces, about beginnings, and it goes all the way through obviously to number 10, and then it talks about the pages, knights, queens and kings, or the court cards. It talks about how to conduct a reading, perhaps how you want to set it up, maybe past, present, the severed head spread, and then we come to the Major Arcana. Obviously with each deck it's in 5 parts, the Major and the Minor Arcana, along with the cups, swords, wands, suits. So as you can see here, this is how the book can go if you're not careful with it. So with the booklet itself, it's fabulous because you've got very clarity here. You actually see the card, oops, wrong way. You actually see the card clearly in the book. Big fan of that. I feel like it really helps you remember the card itself when you're trying to dissect or learn about the meaning of the card, or to try and build your intuition here, because it's a really good prompting. You've got the keywords here, and obviously you've got what the card means. So we go through all of it. It's obviously got the card number there, which is on every deck with tarot. So we'll go through, then we'll look at the minor. The minor is fancy. You can see how the book goes. The minor is great. So you've got that 1 page again for each card. We've got to make sure, you know, like with guidebooks, that they're good, they give clarity, and they've got lots of information from each deck. So we'll see at the end. Hazards. So you can see how the book goes with lots of use, you know, because it's sort of stapled but not stapled. And then we've got like I want to say the theme of it, you know, the theme of the Zombie Tarot deck. So we've got 78 cards. We'll stick that there. We'll go through each one. So we've got the Fool here. He's off on his journey, new beginnings. He's taking his first step here. He looks quite happy. He looks quite proud, and he's not really, he's oblivious to the hands that's around him. The magician's got all the tools that he needs, and a little bit extra as well. He's sort of manifesting what he chooses and what he wants. You know, he's the magic. He's the magician. He's in charge there. The priestess is all about intuition. This card, you know, you sort of think you have a reminder here of the head shrinkers. Well, anyway, that's what I do. I think of the head shrinkers in the intuition card. So we've got that. The Empress, we normally see the Empress as somebody who's pregnant. In this card, it shows of a mother. And, you know, she loves her daughter no matter what, you know, and it's got the flowers here. So it's sort of like creativity, the Empress. It's new beginnings. It's giving the birth or the gift of life to things that we normally wouldn't. So it's interesting here how she's sort of hugging her grey daughter, you know. So she's got the maternal here, you know. So she's sort of like, don't you come and touch my child, you know. So we've got the Emperor here. So the Emperor is always the leader, you know. So you've got this little kid here, you know. So it's sort of like he's protecting this little boy here. So it can represent an older man in your life as well, and that's why the youth, the younger boy. But he's a leader. He's controlled, you know. He's ready to protect. The Hierophant, I always have problems deciphering this card in readings, but the Hierophant's always about truth, advice and education. Sometimes we need to know the truth, so we've got this news reader here sort of letting us know what's going on, what's happening. And the Lovers. Normally we see the Lovers, you know, sometimes it can be a choice here, but we're seeing them quite sexy, you know, and it can be a reminder here of blinded by passion, but check them out here, you know, like it's sort of like, are you going to leave this relationship before it goes sour, you know, before it goes off? So that's another interesting and valid point that the booklet can make with that one. The Chariot, I always see the Chariot as going too far. So it's interesting here that the Chariot's gone out of control here. So it is about progress but it does move. The Chariot always talks about movement, you know, movement there. So you can see they're trying to get to their destination. I'm just going to turn these the right way up. Justice. It's always about, you've got the scales here. So it always is about balance. It can obviously relate to court matters and whatnot, you know, like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. This is what this is, but it's really about, justice is about the good fight, you know, the good. The Hermit, you know, we normally see the Hermit with a lantern, so it's interesting their take here with the lamp there. So that's quite interesting. We've got the time, and it's all about being patient, just sitting back and being patient, relying on yourself, but taking a chill pill pretty much. I love how she's got the chocolates there. I love this, the Wheel of Fortune. As I said, it's got this old-fashioned take on it, you know, like the old circus here. And this is all about fate. So it's interesting, you know, like where is the knife going to be thrown, you know? So it's about your destiny. It's about luck. And sometimes, you know, we've just got to be on this wheel, you know, and we haven't got any control. So that's a reminder of the Wheel of Fortune. The Strength is all about conviction. Normally we see it with a lady who's opening up a lion's head. So it's interesting here how we've got the ammunition here. So that's interesting. So it's about trusting your instincts. So having the ammunition there, keeping you safe. The Hangman, I always want to put the card the right way up. This is all about a turning point, basically, sacrifice. But you've put yourself in this position. This is what this is all about, you know. You've put yourself there, so you're the only one that can set yourself free. The Death card is all about new beginnings. It's all about transformation. You know, it's about rebirth. So it's an opportunity, basically, about even going through new relationships. So this is the Death card. Interesting. I can't really. Nearly all cases result from bites. So it's a lot of information coming here, you know. That's really interesting because the Zombie Tarot card was done, I'm pretty sure, prior to The Walking Dead. So it's interesting. Temperance card, for me, I always call it the cocktail card. You know, it's always about how you got things in balance. So it is an alchemy card. It's about cooperation, but it's sort of like we're mixing human blood with zombie blood here. So it's a funny take on that one. So be careful what you choose. And the Devil, about temptation, about excess, about vices. And this is an old cigarette machine for those of you that are too young to know. So it's always about, you know, something going to be there, you know, like to tempt us. Are we willing to sort of refrain from it, you know, really be mindful there's something in our life that may be no good for us, or the devil's talking to us on our shoulder. And the Tower is always about a sudden change, you know, it's about destruction. So we often see the Tower in the Rider-Waite-Smith. It's built on a stone, so it was never had good foundation. So this is getting struck by lightning. So once it sort of explodes, it can be rebuilt in a much better place or in a much better position. So this is what the Tower card's all about, if you can see that clearly. The Star card, lovely take on it. Isn't that clever? The Star card, I always call the Star card the Faith card, but it is here about recognition, it's about inspiration, it's about achievements, and it's basically saying you're on the right track. You know, you've gone through and you've rebuilt yourself, and now it's a lot brighter. The Moon card, it's the illusion card, I call it, you know, the grey. Sometimes we've got the intuition and we've got secrets coming to us, and it's interesting how she's getting the key here and she's in bed. So listen to your dreams, you know, your intuition could be talking to you. So very interesting take on this card, looking down the bottom there. It's all the people that are sort of talking to her, you know, like, and the keys or your dreams can come to you and give you the key to release yourself. So be mindful of that if that ever pops up. And the Sun card is all about success. You've got these people and they're up and away and they're on. So it's about hope as well. They're gone. The Judgment card, this is an interesting take on this one. So the Judgment card's about responsibility and karma. So it is interesting. It's like there's a tough decision to be made. Do you press the button? You know, like you're going to press the button here. So that's an interesting one. Very good deck, don't you think? The World card. So this is all about an end of a journey or completion. Look, the world's destructing. You know, you can be down here, but doesn't matter. You're still going to be destroyed. So it's all about the lesson learned. You know, the world's going to go up in flames here. And even though you're in this shelter, it's really about, it's an end of stage from your life, you know. The Cups. So this is all about new relationships, beginnings. So it's beautiful. Look, it's got sadness, hunger, anger, hate. Very cleverly done. Two of Cups is all about balance and compromise. You know, you've got the zombie here eating away, you know, the brains of someone. And then you've got a human here eating a good hearty meal. So it's quite interesting. You know, you guys could have a beautiful romance if you can just balance things out. Get it together, basically. And the Three of Cups is all about partnership, celebration. So another interesting take of the zombie there. Good take. Good times ahead. Don't you just love it? It's sort of like the 1950s, would you say? You know. So this is all about boredom. You know, you got this guy. He's bored. He's dissatisfied. She doesn't even notice. She's in her own little friggin' mind there. And the Five of Cups is all about loss, sadness and grief. So the mood is black, you know, but you can't grieve too long. You've got to keep going. This is my favourite card of the deck, the Six of Cups. I just love it. This is all about, you know, memory, old flames, nostalgia, looking back at things, learning from things in the past perhaps. The Seven of Cups is all about lots of choices here, decisions. So it's interesting. Did she eat all these people? Is that why she's getting it inside in different ways? You know, it's sort of like, is she having a possibility of which one to go to next? So you can confuse yourself if you stay here too long too. The Eight of Cups reminds me of an old airport, doesn't it? This is all about moving on. Can mean troubled relationships, but it's definitely about changes here. The Nine of Cups, another favourite card of mine. This is all about wishes, dreams, and physical happiness. You know, she's in here. She's sort of like secured up there. So it's really about a reminder that a reward is on the way. The Ten of Cups, another, yeah, there's a few favourite cards of mine. I just love this one too because it's, you know, it's about family, and you've got this here, this destruction here, and they're all having a good time, oblivious to what's going on. So it's really about kick back, relax, enjoy each other's company while you can. The Page of Cups is someone who's creative, kind and artistic. Again, we've sort of got this beach theme sort of happening here with the waters of the cups. The Queen of Cups, don't you just love it? Look at her face there. So this is someone who's intuitive, devoted, got lots of emotions. The Knight of Cups obviously should go before the Queen, but it's a bit out of order. This is somebody who can be moody, but also too somebody who's romantic. Look at him, he's sort of showing off. Look at me, look at me. You know, I've got the brain here. Probably hasn't got the brain, probably got the body, but not the brain. Doesn't know how to properly use the brain. And then we've got the beautiful King of Cups. Very aquatic type of card here. So this is somebody who has an empathic, somebody who's diplomatic, somebody who's quite generous, but also to somebody who can be quite sensitive, hence why the water's there. So that's the cups. Then we're going to move on to the wands. Where's my wands? Ace of Wands, here we go. The Ace of Wands is all about new tasks and energy. Don't you just love that gruesome picture there? The Two of Wands, again, is all about choices. You know, you're at crossroads. You're at two different decisions, like which one is he going to run after? The Three of Wands is all about a group effort. It's about progress. It's about cooperation, but it's definitely about working together. You know, like if these guys weren't working together, they wouldn't be able to break free. And the Four of Wands, it's all about reward and celebrations, obviously, with all the parties going on there. The Five of Wands, don't you just love this one? This is all about fighting, quarrels, strife, competition as well. You know, he's trying to get away while they fight. He's not much help. So they're not working together as a team there. The Six of Wands is all about success, victorious, recognition even. The Seven of Wands is all about challenges, competition and persistence. The Eight of Wands, love this. She's got the roller skates on. It's all about travel, expansion, but it's definitely about being on the move, you know, to keep going. It's about, you know, maybe you've been presented with a new opportunity as well to keep going there. The Nine of Wands is about completion of tasks, but it's also about willpower and persistence. You know, don't you look at this down the bottom here? Like the policeman sort of eating the arm off there. The Ten of Wands is about responsibility. It's about struggle. It's about burdens, you know, and it's basically, why is everything your responsibility? So you need help. You know, you definitely need help. The Page of Wands, look at this baby. So it's all about a need for growth. Also too, it's about high goals. So it's interesting how, you know, the baby's sitting there. He's confined to a high chair, but he's got his eyes on the prize, and that's not going to stop him getting that leg down there, I'm sure. The Knight of Wands, this is about somebody who's an adventurer. Yeehaw, cowboy. Oh my God, I don't even remember some of these cards. And then we've got the Queen. These are out of order. The Queen, so it's somebody who's caring, but somebody who can also be very fiery. Hence why we've got the Nurse. And then we've got the King of Wands. So he's somebody who's optimistic. Very optimistic. Look, he's trying to drill into that leg, maybe to replace his own. So it's interesting there. And then we're moving on to the swords. So this is all about action, taking action. What does it say there on the top of that? Oh, my eyesight. For the zombie hunter. So that's what it says on top of the knife. And then the Two of Swords is about indecision. It's about difficult decisions, and also different viewpoints as well. So you can see that very clearly. The Three of Swords. Oh, everyone hates this card. It's all about heartache, jealousy, and loss. You know, got to get through something here. I think it's one of the, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the most heaviest card of the deck, or the most emotional one. And the Four of Swords, it's about rest and recovery there. He's having a bit of a sleep, the soldier. The Five of Swords is all about fighting, bickering. Beautiful card. Look at this one. You could always have that as a poster, couldn't you? It's about travel and leaving the past behind. It's about transition. So, you know, she's quite happy there. She's shooting everyone off. He's sort of a bit more scared, but she's in control. So it's moving away from troubled waters. The Seven of Swords. It's about theft, sabotage, and deception. Cool card, hey? She's taken over. The Eight of Swords is about no win. You can't win. Lack of action, you just cannot win. So that's that card. The Nine of Swords, I love this. Look at this. He's in a crazy world here. It's all about paranoia, anxiety, and hopelessness. But don't you just love the way they've really chosen how to depict the paranoia in this card? The Ten of Swords. It's about destruction. Look at that. The Page, somebody who's very observant, somebody who's very headstrong, and even inquisitive here. Look, they're just sort of like looking around. Don't you just love it's like you're in a museum there, the butterflies on the wall. The Knight of Swords is somebody who is very brave, but they lack emotion. So who does this remind you of? Especially what's going on in the world today. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's got a sharp tongue. You know, somebody who's definitely got a sharp tongue. Don't you like this Nana here? She's got the plates, you know. She's sort of like, don't take on what, she may look sweet and kind, but, you know, she's very, very smart. She's very wise, you know. Don't be deceived by her looks. And the King of Swords is somebody who's stubborn, somebody who's got a lot of authority, and somebody who can be very judgmental. And finally, for the last part, is the hazards. This is all about financial rewards. Don't you just love how they've done this? It's a very clear message, isn't it? You know, you've got the bracelets there. Even the measuring here, the measuring of that new beginnings and possibilities are shown in that card. The Two of Hazards. So this is all about juggling responsibilities and balance and harmony. So it's an interesting take on there. I wonder why it's sort of like it's telling you to keep an eye on your responsibilities. So he's still working, but yet he's not allowing anything to distract him or allowing anything to, I guess, let loose. I think that's how I do interpret that card. Now, the Three of Hazards is about hard work. It's about skill. And it's interesting how we've got this in two different sectors. It's sort of showing you how you've mastered one stage. Now you're on to the next, or perhaps you're teaching it to others, you know. It's about teaching people a skill. Four of Hazards. Look at him. He's got everything he wants. And there's people wanting to come in, but he's not helping anybody. So it can be selfishness. It can be hoarding. It can be someone who's very possessive. And the Five of Hazards. So you've got financial loss and anxiety here. You can see very closely. So you're sort of desperate in this card. The Six of Hazards is all about favours. You know, we always want someone to do our lawn. That's the best thing. I used to have a neighbour that used to, it's about gifts are coming your way. You know, so he's got the stake out here, you know, and he's sort of like, if you do this, if you work hard, you know, and mow my lawn, you're going to be able to get that. You're going to be rewarded. And the Seven of Hazards, it's about patience and gain and progress, making progress towards something. The Eight of Hazards, interesting here. It's about having a new approach. Very interesting. Do not open down the bottom here. So it's really about think outside the tank, you know. Don't use the same tactics over and over again. The Eight of Hazards. The Nine of Hazards is about prosperity. I see in there. Independence and confidence. Oh, look at that, dead mart. Isn't it funny? The Ten of Hazards. Oh, I've got the poodle. It's about wealth, family, contentment. Look, they're all happy. Look, they've even got the maid there. Page of Hazards. Love this card too. It's about being responsible and new beginnings. He's cute, isn't he? So it's when he pops up, it's all about new beginnings, you know. It's okay to go in a new direction. And then we have the Knight of Hazards. The Knight of Hazards is about being ambitious. Can you see clearly? Being ambitious, entrepreneur perhaps. And it's funny how they have the material possession of the car here. So it's sort of letting you know what type of person that is. And then we've got the Queen of Hazards, which is somebody who's confident, practical, materialistic. She's tough on the outside, she is. And she works hard. She's got a nurturing side as well. So she's all class, that one. And then finally, the end of the deck, we've got the King of Hazards. So he's someone, again, who works really hard. He's a businessman, so it's interesting. We've got this too as a couple. He's reliable. He can be a bit boring. You know, you go to him for advice. Normally someone who's a bit older, but definitely someone you can rely on. So that is the Zombie Tarot deck. I'll show you the reverse. Oh, it's just got this. The price that I bought for back in the day, $16.95. Obviously, it'd be a lot more than that. I'll put it up on the screen how much it is. So I hope, oh, banging the camera there. I hope that you guys enjoy this. Oh, look at this. In the event of a zombie attack, get to a secure location, open this box and consult the Zombie Tarot. This fully functional 78-card tarot deck offers valuable advice of life, love, family relationships, automatic firearms, premature burials, cannibalistic children and more. The enclosed instruction book shows how to interpret all 78 cards and provides helpful tips on getting a reading. That it does. The book is very helpful. This actual deck would be really good for beginners because you've got the keywords, which is really helpful in building on your intuition. So do all the beautiful, lovely YouTube things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. Would really love to hear your take on this deck. As always, until next time.